here, and I really wanted to come in and surprise you all with the live broadcast this morning. I haven't been on Facebook for quite a while in a live situation, and I thought it's time that I come in and say welcome to all our new members and everybody else that's joining me for our presentation. What really triggered me to hop into the group today was the fact that I posted a post the other day saying, what if I told you 12 million widows are struggling with grief in the USA, waiting for time to heal their pain and their loss? And it seems by the comments and the threads that I've been reading over the last couple of days is that a lot of you are still waiting for time. You know, some of you have commented that you've been waiting 5 years, some of you 12 years, some of you still struggling, don't know how to move forward with your grief. Others say that they don't believe in waiting for time. Others are saying, well, you know, we just have to way, and we have to do whatever we need to do, and it takes as long as it takes. And you know, it really brought home to me that when we believe what everybody is saying about grief, everybody says, and I've had it said to me, my clients have had it said to them, is wait for time. It takes time. Now, time is irrelevant. Time is absolutely irrelevant. Now, why do I say time is irrelevant? Because what is time? What is time? If I had to say to you, go and visit Mr. Time, what would you do? Who would you go and see? There is no thing as time. We create our own time. When we buy into and we believe what everybody else says, that we need to wait for time, we end up waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for this magical thing called time to help heal us and our grief. Whereas in fact, the longer that you wait, the longer you wait for time to heal, the longer it takes you to start your life over, to start living again, not just surviving day to day, which is so important. You know, I was on a call with a lady the other day, with a client the other day, and she said, Denise, I really need to work with you because my husband would not want to see me suffering the way I am. My husband would not want to see me in my pain. And they wouldn't want to see us. They don't want to see us. You know, if everything was reversed, would you want to be looking down from heaven and looking at your loved one, looking at your husband, not being able to move on, and just getting up every day going, oh, another day? It's, you know, living Groundhog Day. It's so important to move through your grief as fast as possible and not wait for time, because time is an illusion. It's an illusion that we create. It's an illusion that we think we have a lot of. You know, when Martin passed away, I thought we still had a lot of time together, whereas in fact we didn't. Did I know that? No. What is time? What is time? And I really urge you to think about what is time. We pass through time, and it's in that passing through time that we choose to either heal ourselves, start our new lives and our new joy journey, or stay stuck in exactly where we are in our grief. Now, I'm not dismissing grief. I'm not dismissing your feelings. I had them too as a widow. I know. I've walked your walk. I know what it takes to heal, and I know what works, and I know what doesn't work. What doesn't work is waiting for time and trying to go through the 5 stages of grief. That's old, outdated methods. You know, is it time for you to start a unique way of moving forward? Yeah, I help my clients in 8 weeks step into their joy journey, regardless of how long or what amount of time they've been waiting to heal themselves. Because time does nothing to heal you. Time cannot heal you. Time is numbers on the clock. You know, we have so many phrases about time. Oh, I don't have time for this now. If only time could stand still. Oh my goodness, time is moving so fast. But it's not the time. It's what we're doing within that time that makes the difference. You know, for example, if you're really having fun and you've got a bunch of girlfriends around you and you're giggling and you're laughing and you're drinking wine, 3, 4, 5 hours can just go boom, like that. But if you're sitting on your own and you're crying and you're unhappy and oh, my life's over and I don't know where I'm going to go, 3, 4, 5 hours goes forever. Here's the thing, it's still the same block of time. Yeah. So when we believe that time is going to fix us, the only thing that happens is that we get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. The pain gets worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. We cannot heal time. We cannot heal from a space of time. We cannot heal from the outside in. It's a journey, it's a self-discovery journey that it's doing the inner work on yourself. It's rediscovering who you are. It's learning to love yourself, learning to put yourself first. And I know that's a really hard one, but time's not going to do that for you. Time is not going to do that for you. All that time is doing for you is prolonging it, prolonging your journey, prolonging your life, keeping you stuck. And every day that you don't heal and you don't do something proactive to heal yourself, not your grief, because remember, grief doesn't heal, you heal. So we can't heal grief because it's an emotion. We can't heal emotions. Emotions simply just don't heal. You will always have your grief there in the background. It will always be there. The only difference is when you do the inner work on yourself, you learn to love yourself. You know, you do the deep dive into who you are, what you believe, what your beliefs are, you heal, and your grief becomes love, because grief is love. But it doesn't just happen over time. It cannot happen miraculously over time, because you're not doing anything different to create any different results. I had somebody say to me the other day, in fact, my coach and my mentor, she said to me, Denise, the craziest thing is doing the same thing every single day and expecting a different result. And I see that that's what a lot of ladies do while waiting for time. Every day is Groundhog Day. Get up, do the same thing, go through the motions, live, exist, go to bed. Next day, oh well, maybe I'll feel better tomorrow. Same thing over and over and over again. And before you know it, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, 9 years, 10 years, 20 years have passed. And you're no better off. If anything, you're worse off than what you were when your husband first passed away. So where are you today in your grief journey? On your time, if I had to draw a straight line, where along that line are you? Are you in the beginning, or are you the end? Are you the middle of your grief journey? Because regardless of where you are, is it time to draw a line in the sand and say, enough of this pain, enough of how I'm feeling, enough of being the victim of my circumstances, enough of not wanting to heal, enough of grief being my identity. It's enough. Is it time to draw that line in the sand and say, okay, this is what I'm going to do now. This is how I'm going to move forward. This is the action I'm going to take. It's the biggest mistake we make, and I made it too in my early days of my grief, is thinking that somebody else can fix my pain. I went to a therapist, I went to a psychologist, I went to my doctor, I read so many books on grief, I joined so many grief groups, thinking that this was all going to help me heal. And guess what? It didn't. If anything, it made it worse, because I was repeating my story over and over and over. I would sit in the grief group situation, and everybody would share all their painful stories, which then made me feel, oh, this is awful. These people are suffering so much. And I'd go home with this cloud over my head thinking, I'm going to get out of this. I hate my life. Now, I had times, and I know I can share this confidentiality and confidently in the group, where I could have quite honestly just driven in front of a truck. And we all go through that. Not that I did, not that I was suicidal, and I know a lot of you have the same emotions. It's not that you're suicidal, it's just that you get so low that you don't know how to pick yourself up, where to go. You know, you're going for therapy, you're reading the books, you're doing everything that they say you should do, and it's not working. He says to you, you know what, it's only been a year, give it time. So you then get back on the time bicycle or the time treadmill, and you wait for time again. Okay, well, I'll just wait for time, wait for time, wait for time, wait for time, wait for time. In the meantime, time is passing you by. You're getting older, you're getting sicker maybe, because grief and sadness and pain is a heavy emotion. You know how you feel in your whole body when you're in pain and you're in agony and you're grieving and you're lost and you're lonely. You know how you feel. The opposite to that is joy. You want to have joy. That's a very light vibration, very light energy. You know when you're joyful, you know when you're happy, because life is great. And that's what you're striving for. Not to stay in your grief and your pain. Now, I know that some of you ladies will stay there, and you want to stay there, and that's okay. But I also know that there's a lot of ladies that don't want to stay there, but don't know how to move forward, don't know what the next step is. I was speaking to a beautiful widow the other day, one of my clients, and she said to me, she said, Denise, I love what you're saying, but I don't know how to move forward. What is my next step? What is my next step? You know, it was 6 years for this lady, 6 years that she's been a widow. And she said 6 years of me seeing a therapist, a counselor, a doctor. I've read, I think, every grief book that's out there. I YouTube, I Google, but I can't seem to move past this. How did she put it? She said, I can't seem to move past this underlying sadness and this I feel dumbed down, I feel numb, I don't feel, I just don't. And I helped her see that it was because of her lack of joy, her lack of purpose, and that when she lost her husband, she didn't only lose her husband and her life, she lost herself. She lost her purpose, she lost her role, and with that is self-esteem and self-worth. Now, if we don't help ourselves and put our big girl pants on and go within and do the inner work on ourselves, I'm talking about personal development, growth, stretching and growing, really looking at ourselves as women and saying, well, who am I? Who am I? Because if we don't do that inner discovery, that inner journey, we don't move forward in our life. And like I always say, like I said earlier, is that grief doesn't heal. We cannot heal grief. Grief is an emotion. We have to heal ourselves. We have to heal our lives. We have to rebuild ourselves. We have to rebuild our lives. when our husbands and life partners died, so did we. We died with them. The we that was when we were together died with them. So who are you now? So you see, no amount of time is going to help you find who you are. It's just going to make it worse and worse and worse and worse. You know, so many ladies struggle because they're waiting for their time. They're waiting for time. It takes time. Give yourself time. Don't do anything within the first 12 months, etc., etc., etc. You've heard it all. You've heard it all. I've heard it all too. You know, after over 10 years of helping ladies work through and move way beyond their grief and live lives that are just so fulfilled, so filled with joy, I know what works and what doesn't work. I know what works for me, and I know what works for my clients. You know, so please don't struggle on your own and think, oh, I'll just wait for time. I'll just wait for the next day. Tomorrow's going to be better, because tomorrow's not going to be better. Because tomorrow you're going to be exactly the same as you were today. The only way tomorrow is going to be any better is when you do something different. Something different, out of the box, totally different to what you've done. Because, you know, the height of madness is doing the same thing over and over and over again, every day, every year, and expecting a different result. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Even if you think, oh, well, I'll just go and read a book, that's different, I'll never read a book again. Reading is information, it's not transformation. My clients have read many books, I read so many books, but unless we implement what's in the books, we might as well not even read them. And there's so many books out there on other widows' stories and how they've healed. That's not your story. That's not who you are. So trying to follow somebody else's grief journey is not going to work. It just simply doesn't work. What you need is a unique method, tailored specifically for you and your joy journey, that takes you from heartache to joy in 8 weeks. Now, I work one-on-one with my clients through the stuff that comes through. That's the transformation. It's not just, oh, well, here you go, off you go, bye, see you later. Or maybe try meditating or try doing handstands, you know, on your head, and it doesn't work. Inner transformation has to come on a cellular level. It really does. And unless you're prepared to do the work, because it is work, it's inner work, nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to change. Time is most definitely not going to help you. You know, time does nothing. Absolutely nothing. Time is time. It's numbers on a clock. You know, when I fly to the USA to run our retreats, it takes me 26 hours, one way. That's time. What happened in that time? I don't know. I was on an airplane, I had food, I walked around, I went to the toilet, and then eventually I end up in the US. That's passing through time. That's what we do when we wait for time to heal our grief. And remember, grief doesn't heal. You have to heal. We have to heal on an inner core level. And that's how I help my clients. That's how my clients, the many ladies you see in this group, have moved forward and have moved forward fast, have had so many aha moments, so much transformation, because they've healed at an inner core level. They've healed themselves, and they've begun their journey of self-discovery. They're now driving their own bus. Their own bus. And by saying that, I mean that nobody can tell them what to do anymore. And that's because their self-confidence, their self-esteem, their purpose, their role becomes so clear. When we work on ourselves, when you work on an inner level, all that stuff gets cleared out. And it happens fast. It really happens fast. It's not a year after year after year process. So if you are struggling and you've been waiting for years and years and years and you're waiting for time and you're still, still not where you are and where you want to be, let's talk. I can help you. But I can only help you if you are prepared to help yourself. And I'll repeat that. I can only help you if you are prepared to help yourself. Because the process and the method that I use is I help you help yourself for the rest of your life. I don't do it for you. I don't tell you how to do it. We work through a process where I help you uncover all the greatness, all the beauty that's still inside of you, that's been buried over years and years and years and years of programming, strategies, life. And together we uncover that layer by layer by layer. But you are doing the work, and I'm helping you and supporting you through that. So it's an inner journey on yourself. Nobody's doing what I'm doing with in the field at all. Everybody's still following the old, outdated methods. That was, comes from Elizabeth Kubler-Ross in the 1960s. Is it time for change? Is it time for you to change? Is it time for you to look and go, hang on, what I'm doing is not working? Maybe, just maybe, Denise is saying might help me. What is so different about what Denise does? Let me hop on a call with her and find out. That's what my free breakthrough calls are for. Let's see if I can help you. But, disclaimer, I cannot help you unless you are ready to help yourself. It's not my job, and I refuse to work with anybody who says, oh, I think I might be ready. No, you're either ready or you're not ready. And that's why we have a breakthrough call. That's why we connect first. Because I don't work with everybody. I can't. Not everybody's ready. But for the ladies that are ready, if you here with me, and I see there's a lot of ladies on our call, book your call with me. It's livingbeyondgriefandloss.com/talk. My mission is to help as many ladies heal as fast as possible in the least amount of time, without losing their memories and the love, and enhancing and turning the grief into love. That's my mission. Because you've got a lot of living still to do. And that's regardless of your age. That's regardless of your age. You've still got a lot of living to do. A lot of laughter, a lot of joy, a lot of love. And when I say love, it doesn't mean find another partner. That again is healing from the outside in. We think, somebody's going to come and heal me. Somebody's going to come and fix me. All I need is another person to come into my life to love. It doesn't work. It doesn't work that way. That's the wrong way around. We have to heal ourselves first. We have to go within. We have to heal. We have to learn to love ourselves. We really love ourselves unconditionally. And if you're going to wait for time to do that, well, nothing's going to change. Because if you don't love yourself now, waiting for time is not going to make it any different tomorrow. Time is not going to wake you up in the morning and say, hey, hello, this is time here. You've waited enough time now. Oh, I see you love yourself now. It doesn't work that way. I know that sounds, silly in what I'm saying, but really think about that phrase and that advice that you've been following, and maybe you believe it now as well, that I've got to wait for time. I haven't waited for time. It takes time. Let's just see what time does. Time does not heal you. What you do within that time, and I cannot stress that enough. It's the actions that you take within that time that helps you heal yourself, not your grief. Because you will grieve till the day you die, even if you get remarried. you will take your husband, your life partner with you into the new relationship. So please don't expect time to heal you, because it really will not heal you. Time will not heal you. Talk to me. Book your call with me. Let's see if together I can help you move through your time. Let's cut your grief and your pain journey. Let's stop it. Let's really work on you. It's a new way for you to start thinking. It's not grief share. What I do is not grief share. It's not counseling. It's totally different. I am not a counselor and I'm not a therapist. So I haven't been trained in the way they've been trained. But I have been trained in human behavior, psychology, you name it. Because I am a coach. I am a life coach, and my speciality is grief and widows. So I've been modality to therapists and counselors. I don't believe in talk therapy. I don't talk to you. I don't even need to know your story to help you go within and start healing yourself. Counseling and therapy is a talk therapy. How are you feeling? What happened to you? Come back next week and let's see if you're feeling any better. It doesn't work. It works initially to get all the stuff off your chest, but if you're still seeing a therapist and a counselor after 5 years, 2 years, 1 year, and you're going back and back and back and back, it's not working. It's simply not working. You might feel better when you get home, but it's not working. You are not transforming your life. That happened to me. I went for 6 months. Nothing changed. Nothing. I felt better when I got home, and then the next morning, Groundhog Day again. What am I going to do? Oh, well, I'm going to see Teresa next Wednesday. Let's talk about it and see what she says. And then Teresa and I would have a lovely talk and a chat, and I would have, Denise, would you like a cup of tea? Oh, look, I've got new biscuits, and we'd have a chat, and I'd feel absolutely wonderful. And then I'd go home again. Next morning, wake up. Oh, okay. Now what? So that was Groundhog. Go back, pay, go back, pay, go back, go back, pay, go back. Until I actually realized, hang on, this is not working. So if you're in the same situation that you feel, you've been going to for years, months, and you're not feeling any better, and you haven't really started your inner transformation and your inner journey, that's because they're not trained in that. I am. That's the fundamental difference. Is they're not trained, and they don't do what I do, and I don't do what they do. So if you want inner transformation, you wanted to rediscover who you are. And I don't say discover, it's rediscover. Because inside of you is a little girl that used to have fun. Where is that little girl now? Let's discover her together. Let's unpeel all those layers of hurt, of anger, of feeling I'm not good enough, of all those limiting beliefs. Let's clear all of that and start your life, start your joy journey. My link to talk to me, and it's a free call where I call you so that you're under no obligation, is livingbeyondgriefandloss.com/talk. You'll get taken to my diary page. You choose a time, even though I'm in Australia and I'm actually in your future. I live in your future. It converts it to my time. So when you see it open, you will see it. Just be wary when you book your call with me that you're not booking it for 12 or 1 a.m. your time, because I can still do the call at 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the afternoon because that's my time. But I won't call you at those hours. just simply won't. So be aware of AM and PM. But step out of your comfort zone. Reach out for help. Be a little bit vulnerable and say, you know what? This is not working for me. And be honest with yourself. Maybe after this, broadcast today, maybe get a book and start journaling and start writing down what is working in your life, what isn't working, and what have you done to start moving forward. And it doesn't matter the years, it doesn't matter if it's 6 months, 2 weeks, or 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, it doesn't matter. Draw a line in the sand and to make today the best day of your life. Will you make a decision to start moving forward with your grief? To step out of the belief that, maybe time isn't working. Maybe time doesn't work. How has it been working for you so far? If not you, then who? If not now, when? Profound words. If not you, then who? If not now, when? We all have to make a decision. We all have to take some form of action. Even when we take no action, we're taking action. We're doing nothing. And to do nothing is still a choice, a decision. So what choice are you going to make today? Book your call with me. Let's spend 45 minutes on a call. If I can't help you and if the flow method is not for you, I'll tell you that on the phone and we'll still be friends. We'll still be friends. I'll point you in a direction that somebody else can help you or something else can help you. But to have 8 weeks of deep immersion in yourself and uncover what's really keeping you stuck and doing the hard stuff on yourselves. Very often we really don't want to look at ourselves. Put my hand up. We gloss over stuff in our life. We pretend that it doesn't happen. We squash it down. Because it is very confronting when you do the inner work. It is very confronting because suddenly you become, oh my goodness, is that how I've been running my life? But the liberation and the freedom after that, when you clear all that stuff out, it's like pulling weeds out of your garden. You pull a weed out and you pull another weed out and you dig the soil, you make it look all pretty, it looks gorgeous. Then you go off to the nursery and you go and buy some pretty flowers and pretty shrubs to put in its place. That's what we do together, is we pull the weeds out one by one. The weeds that have been growing and you don't even see the weeds anymore. But once you start pulling them out and you start growing from within and you start healing you, not your grief, you start healing your life, man, your life changes. It is so exciting. It gives me so much pleasure when a lady joins, when a widow joins and she's just in the pit of grief, she doesn't know what to do. And after the 8 weeks, she's a different person. She gets on with her life, she starts a business, she moves overseas, she can sell the house that she's in and she can downsize, she can make all her own decisions. Whereas 8 weeks before that, she was the weeds, she was in amongst the weeds, she couldn't see life for the weeds. So if you want me to help you pull the weeds out, I can. I've done it for over 10 years, I've helped myself. I'm speaking from experience. I'm not speaking from a book. I didn't learn this stuff from a book. I lost my husband really suddenly at 51 years old. Just like that, he was gone. So I know the pain. I know what it takes. And that's what led me into what I'm doing today. That's what led me into what I'm doing today. That's what I always had such a passion to heal. From the inside out, to heal me. that I became a life coach. And then that was the beginning of my journey. That was the beginning of my journey. I then went on to further my education and further my learning about human behavior, etc., 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 to do what I'm doing now. And I'm still learning. I'm still growing. I'm still investing in myself. We never, ever arrive. We never get there. But we have to start somewhere. We have to start somewhere. And that your starting point is your call to me. Your call to me is your starting point. If you are committed and 100% committed to your healing. So, yeah, I'll put the link in the bottom. Give me book your call. It's not a case of you have to call. It's a free call. I call you. So book your call. Let's talk, and let's have some fun. Let's see if we can move you through and forward. So it's livingbeyondgriefandloss.com/talk. All right, beautiful ladies. I think has anybody got any questions, or you want to ask me anything, or anything like that? I'm here. I'm live. I'm waiting for anybody to say anything to me about time, what your belief is. Maybe pop your belief about time in the comments below. Fantastic. There's always a delay with Facebook, so I'm just waiting a little bit. There's always a delay. I talk to you and I can see things, but it's like a delay on your side. Hey Donna, I see you here, and I see Gypsy's here, and I see Sherry's here as well. So hi guys, lovely to have you join me. So many other ladies that have joined me. Trish, great question. What does it cost? The call itself is free. There is no, I spend an hour with you. I give you an hour of my time for free. You will get massive value out of the call. I go through everything with you and to see if we're a match. So to say that it's going to be $5 or $10 or $100 or $20,000 or $100,000 is impossible for me to say, because each scenario is different. Everybody's grief journey is different. So it's not just one fits all. It's not a cookie cutter program. So let's book your call with me and let's have a chat. It's the easiest way. Does anybody else have any questions? No. All right, sweets. I'm going to go. I'm going to today's Saturday morning in Australia. It is, what is the time here? Oh, I can't even see. It is on Saturday morning and you're still in Friday. So enjoy your Friday night. Have a glass of wine for me. It'd be a bit funny if I'm sitting here drinking a glass of wine at 10:44 in the morning. So enjoy, relax, and start contemplating how and where you are in your grief journey, and is it time for you to look at alternative ways? Is it time for you to do something different to get different results? Link is livingbeyondgriefandloss.com. Speak to you later. Love you all. Bye.